Sip Sukeshini, Sip Rajinder, Sip Vinayak, Sip Premchandji, Sip Tina, Sip Anil, Sip Ravina, Sip Sarla, Sip Bliss, Sip Kumar, Sip Sadanand, Sip Ahem Sip, Sip Rutanu, Sip Rumataji, Sip Yogini, Sip Sagai, Sip Girish Ananda, Sip Anil, Sip Parvatiyama, Sip Sudha, Sip Siva, Sip Ravina, Sip Ritika, Sip Sonu, Sip Manju. And the rest of you, I welcome you to this evening of Ask AiR, an evening of question and answers, questions that we must always ask ourselves, and answers that can open the door to the truth of life. Who are we? Why are we here? Why did we come to earth? Why did we take this human birth? What is the cause of all suffering on earth? What is the way to live with bliss? Is there a way of eternal happiness? Are we the body that will die? Are we the mind we cannot find? Are we the ego that says I? Who are we? Questions that we need to ask, and questions that are very important. And many people in this world don't ask questions. They live and they die and they don't know who am I. And they don't understand why they came to earth. So with that note, we will start off with questions, and any question on any subject. Today is a beginner session. So I encourage newcomers who are new to the call, who don't know much about the call, to ask very basic questions, any questions. It is a beginner session, so please feel free. Dinesh Chaudhary and Jasmine, please feel free to ask any simple, so-called silly question. Dinesh.
Hello.
Yes, Dinesh.
So, are you able to hear me?
Yes, very well.
So, I want to know the difference between consciousness while mind is still, and consciousness which comes from the soul and the truth consciousness. What are these three different?
Okay. From the soul is a spark of unique life. That soul is what gives you life. You're clear about soul? Soul is the energy inside you.
Right.
That soul creates consciousness. Consciousness, like you say, I'm conscious, I'm subconscious, I'm unconscious. It creates consciousness. This consciousness that is there is wiped out by the mind. The consciousness is like the blue sky. The mind is like the clouds that comes and spoils the view, the look of the blue sky. It disturbs the appearance of the blue sky by the dark gray clouds. The mind appears and the consciousness is there in the background. But the mind is now taking charge by shooting 50 thoughts a minute. Consciousness is there, but the mind has overtaken the consciousness. So if that's clear, or you'd like to ask further, you can ask me further.
No, clear. What about and the truth consciousness?
Truth consciousness is when you are in that. Suppose when the mind is there, then there's no consciousness. But when you are in that consciousness, you are able to realize the truth. That's called truth consciousness. That's called Satya Chit Anand. Satya Chit Anand means truth consciousness bliss. But the Anand will come only when there is Satya Chitta. Chitta means consciousness. In that consciousness, which is the soul consciousness, we should have Sat. Sat means we should be in the consciousness of the truth. Truth consciousness means that we are in consciousness of the truth. What is the truth? I am not the body, mind, ego. I am the divine soul. The soul is Sip. Sip is God. This is truth consciousness. You become conscious of the truth. Then you're in truth consciousness.
Okay. And then there are two terms, chitta and chitta. Chitta and chit, what?
Don't use chitta. The word chitta is confusing. Man, buddhi, chitta, ahankar. Right. Man, buddhi, chitta, ahankar means the mind, the intellect, the memory, and the ego. So instead of using the word chitta, better use the word smriti. Don't use the word chitta.
Okay. So
Chitta,
impression, like impression will be there, no?
memory.
Smriti.
Yeah. In English is easily understood by the word memory. You have memory. Memory is chitta.
So,
But don't use chitta and chitta. Very confusing. No, chitta is consciousness. Chitta is memory. So don't use the word chitta. Try not to use it.
okay, okay.
And
Okay.
chitta is a very powerful word. Chitta is consciousness. So don't confuse with, keep chitta in your mind. Whenever they say manna, buddhi, chitta, ahankar, you say manna, buddhi, smriti, ahankar. Use the word smriti instead of chitta.
Okay. So consciousness come into picture when our mind is still. Right.
Consciousness is always there.
Always there, but we realize when the mind is stable or still.
We experience that state of consciousness when there is no mind. When the mind appears, the mind, it forms a layer over consciousness. Consciousness is there, but the mind has put a layer over the consciousness. So where is the consciousness?
It is already right.
Continue. It is
already there. When the soul comes in, the soul is in the body, so it is already present. But due to mind, we are not able to realize. Right.
The sun and sunshine. Sunshine, soul and consciousness. Sun is the soul, consciousness is the sunshine.
Okay.
But while the sunshine is there, the clouds are the mind. The mind comes and forms a layer. The sky disappears. The sunshine disappears.
Okay. Right.
Done?
Yes, done.
Jasmine, good questions. See, every seeker must ask as many questions. Today I was speaking to an advanced seeker, and I was telling the advanced seeker, even if you go on a talash, even if you go on a retreat, even if you go on a quest, you should not stop asking questions. Oh, you have to continue asking questions, because if you stop asking questions, then you're gone. Therefore, question and answer is very, very important. Even if you're going on a talash, you're in silence, you're in solace, you're away from the world, you're gone into tapas or whatever, you should not stop asking questions. Jasmine.
Yes, I have 2 questions today. My first question is, should we view life as a test?
What do you mean by a test? See, Jasmine,
well, should we view it when you experience?
It's a challenge, Jasmine. It is you can view as, see, sometimes you have to pass the test, right? What is the test? A test is something that we have to pass, correct? This is what you mean.
Yeah.
Or something else. What do you mean by that? Right? The test has so many meanings.
Well, when things happen in life, for example, if you experience negative or positive karma in your life, should you question it? Should you question it as if you're being tested?
No.
Should we view it as a test or a gift?
No, that test life is not. So some people ask, is life testing us? That type of test. No, life is not testing us. But life is a test. What is the test? For example, if you want to travel, you have to pass the COVID test. You have to be COVID negative. That test. You get that point?
Yes.
So the test of life is to question who am I and to get the answer. That way life is a test.
Okay, I understand. Okay.
And
my next question is, yes, if you're in consciousness when you're dreaming, is the dream considered a vision or should you disregard it?
If you are in consciousness and you're dreaming,
yeah,
does it mean that you are awake or you are asleep?
I'm asleep.
If you're asleep, then you are not in consciousness. You are in.
Okay, you can't go to sleep in.
No, if you're sleeping and you get a vision, that is called a dream.
Okay.
But if you
So
are
say,
awake, if you are awake and your mind is completely still and you are in a meditative state, and you are in a state of awareness, in a state of mindfulness, in a state of silence, in that state, if you get a vision, that is the divine vision.
okay, what is it when I know I asked you about dreams previously, you gave me an example about a man who told women that they were going to have a son, and I guess it was kind of, a coincidence that it happened. So say if you're having consistent dreams, for example, I had a dream a few months, I was looking for a new place to live, and I had a dream, a woman that I don't know, she told me to go online and look up this certain neighborhood that I had never heard of before. And the next day I did it and I was able to find a house and everything worked out. So I experienced things like that and I don't know what to call it. Is it a coincidence or is it some type of vision that I'm having when I'm going to sleep? I'm not in consciousness, so I don't know what to call it.
I can only call it a coincidence. It can be a coincidence. And see, let me share with you. If you had a dream and it's a positive outcome, okay, what do we lose by following that?
Yeah, it
But
confuses me because if I have another dream with a positive outcome, I
no,
don't know if I should take
no,
it
no.
as
Don't go by the dream.
okay.
Which means that even if you had a dream and it says you go to the neighborhood, don't blindly look for the house in that neighborhood and don't blindly close the deal.
Okay.
You need to discriminate. You need to use your power of discrimination, because the mind may be fooling you.
Okay.
The mind is in command of dreams. So therefore we have to be cautious of following a dream.
Okay. So I should
So
view the dreams as a test. I shouldn't take it and run with it. I should
no,
question
so
it.
I'm not telling you just disregard the dream. I'm telling you, if you have a dream, take the dream as an idea. Take that idea into your consciousness. Take that idea into your intellectual discrimination. And then you decide whether the dream is making sense to you or not making sense to you.
Okay. Thank you. I understand.
Yeah. Thank you, Jasmine. And after Jasmine, we have Ahemsip, Bliss, Govind, Manju, Lawrence, and Ritika. 6 questions. And we continue, please. Yes.
Shivoham, Guruji, and all others on the call. I love you all and bow down with my full reverence. Guruji, that day when we
Yes,
spoke about tree, you said the tree has awareness and it must be aspiring for being a human being in next birth. But for such awareness, don't we need intellect?
Actually, that tree may not be having exactly this awareness that it should become a human being. The tree has only the awareness that it is suffering its karma. And it is only when it finishes that it comes back to a human being. I don't believe that every tree knows it has to become a human being. I don't think that was what we meant to say. What we meant to say is, or please take it in right spirit what I'm saying. Every living creature that is suffering karma understands that it is suffering karma. That much only I believe. Not that it doesn't remember its past life, it doesn't remember it was a human being, it doesn't remember what bad karma it did. No, nothing. But it is suffering. It is experiencing that suffering. Because that is the whole condition of a rebirth. That is the whole condition of a mind and ego returning and coming back and suffering karma and then coming back in the next cycle. If we don't experience the suffering, then why the cycle? The cycle is only to experience the suffering. If the cycle is there, we are not even 100% sure cycle is there. We don't even need to think twice about it. We actually need to we just need to hear that what we heard in one session, and we need to close it. We don't need any further contemplation, because we in this call, Ahemsip, we are not trying to say, okay, I don't want to be a dog, I want to be a frog, I don't want to be a cat, I want to be a rat. No, we are none of that. We don't want to think of that. We just want to be united with SIP. So we don't want any of that. So that is just a discussion to understand what is what. Bliss, Govind, Manju, Lawrence, Ritika, Renuka.
Hi, Shwam, dear Shwam, everyone. Love you all. I would like to know something. You say soul, spark of unique life, SIP, supreme energy power. So when you say you will be united with God, what it means exactly? Because
It
energy
means
don't.
like you have a drop. It means like you have a drop of water, and that
Yeah.
drop of water is not in the glass. If you take the drop of water and put in the glass, that water will become one with the water in the glass. It become one.
Okay, I understand this, but I would like to know energy don't stop to move. You understand what I try to explain?
Yeah.
It's a circle.
Yeah.
Whoops. You have lost light.
Yeah,
So
but you can see me.
yes. So what it mean? Where this energy goes when it's going in the glass, as you see? Some
Energy is not.
particle go away, or everything go there and stay there?
Which energy? Which energy are you talking about? The soul?
Yeah. Supreme
Which
energy
energy are you
power.
talking about?
Soul, spark of unique life. When we
That's
got unification with God,
yeah.
my energy stay there.
Your energy has become one with the sip.
And
Suppose I
I
tell
will
you,
be not.
suppose in this bottle of water, I take this water and I put water in this cap. Now the water
Yeah.
in this cap. Now I put back the water like this. Now your water is gone here. So it's
Okay.
gone inside.
Yes, I understand this part. It's not a
Yeah.
problem, but I
Yeah.
want to know exactly where is this energy, this
Ah,
urge energy. Where?
where is this energy? The answer, where is this energy not? It is everywhere. If I ask you the question, where is air? Where is air?
Air. Air is everywhere.
Yeah, same way.
Okay, I understand
So this
now.
energy,
So I will be everywhere.
yeah, you become you will become one with the power that is everywhere. And if you want to understand this, please study the scientific concept of dark matter and dark energy. The scientists will tell you this whole universe is full of dark matter and dark energy. Please study that scientific concept.
Okay.
It's
will
not
be
only
really
it's not only in the earth. It is outside the earth, in the cosmos, and everywhere.
okay. So it's
That
very huge.
it's everywhere.
Okay.
Let me explain to you.
Yes.
Suppose we take 20 people in a room and
Yes.
we lock those 20 people in the room, completely lock. And those people die. Then where the soul go for the 20 people? Is the 20 people soul in the room?
Where goes the air in the balloon when
This energy can go through the wall. You cannot stop the energy even going through the wall.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I understand.
It is very powerful. We cannot even understand. We have to realize we cannot understand. It is not possible to understand. You
Yes,
heard
I know.
me. Yeah, because how? If you understand how the soul can go out through the wall, how? No, we cannot understand. It is beyond understanding. I know, I understand what you mean when you say you understand. But I'm saying the word understand is not enough to understand.
No, that's true. It's very more complicated than this.
No, it is too beautiful. It is too divine. It is
Yeah.
too spiritual. It's all, but I understand what you understand. Govind Mehtani.
Thank you.
Govind, Manju, Lawrence, Ritika, Renuka, and Jasmine.
Shivoham AiR.
Show everyone.
So, to better understand and to believe more into the law of karma, I'm saying to believe more into it. I do believe in it, but there is questions there. Uh, I want to understand who, when decided that the law of karma applies to the human species. For example, I'm keeping in mind everything we have discussed previously. You reap as you sow as you reap, whatever. Apple trees will not give you mangoes. All this is understood. Okay, it's logic. The ball which goes up comes down. But is it like a government which suddenly implements a new law that, okay, from next year, this new law applies to all the citizens? Law of karma was decided by who? And does it only apply to human beings because they have intellect and the other species do not have intellect? I'll go a little bit further on this. Keeping in mind that this planet was formed hundreds of millions of years ago. When it was formed, air, water, space, right? Those five elements, basically. Uh, Now, when the planet was formed, the first species that got life must be insects or whatever, some creatures, whatever. It just formed, right? Life was formed. Now, that life did not come with any karma, it was just formed. And that life, the fittest survived. The weakest used to eat the strongest used to eat the weakest creatures to survive. They did not have a kitchen equipped with grill to make food the way they want, or so many other facilities that we have today. So my point is, when the life was first formed in this universe, that creatures did not come with pre-existing karma. Okay, it just formed, and they had to do what they had to do to survive. Human beings evolved after a lot of different creatures. We came from apes, last that we know of. We evolved from apes, monkey, apes, whatever. And now the law of karma applies to us. And if anything negative happens, we say, A, we have done something wrong in the past, which is why we need to accept it. Right? But what happened to those creatures in the beginning of life? Because what my question, again, I will repeat a little bit again, is
No,
this.
I know your question, but let me give you a few points and then see whether you're still not clear about it or not.
Mhm.
What is the shape of the Earth?
Round,
What is the shape of the Moon?
round,
What is the shape of the Sun?
round.
Why was it not cubes?
Well, most of the planets that we see are round.
Why? Why not square?
We don't know. It's maybe from the Big Bang theory. Maybe it was a one big
Yeah.
humongous.
So there's something that we have to accept. We don't know.
Correct.
Not something. There are too many things we don't know.
Correct.
If I tell you whether dogs are romancing with each other, I don't know. We don't know 1 million, not 1 million. Actually, what we know, maybe less than 0.1% of what we don't know.
Correct. Correct.
So what is important, Govind, in our life is not what we don't know. Now, if you lose your common sense, I'm just taking you and me, apply our common sense and quickly go flashback, quickly go to the creation. See, nobody can tell you that we came from apes. If we came from apes, then even today we should have evolution. We should see different stages of evolution of the monkeys. If that was true, an ape did not sleep in the night as an ape and morning woke up as a human being. If the ape was evolving as a human being, then the ape should be evolving even today as a human being. Why has it stopped? That means we should have 99% human being, 1% ape. We should have 90% human being, 10% ape. We should have 10% human being, 90% ape. No, we don't have. Sorry.
Okay.
So what? I'm not a scientist, and I'm not arguing on. I'm only telling you, you and me, can you accept that we have a maximum 100-year lifespan as a human being?
Yes.
If you start trying to get to this, you'll be gone. You'll be dead and gone.
You see my point.
I see your point. And I'm addressing your point. If you're trying to say, how did karma start? Common sense says the first set of people didn't have karma. Obviously didn't have karma. If human being number one, and Govind, it is a far-fetched theory that all these animals and all these birds and all the fish have been evolved through evolution. It's impossible. And it is what has happened over millions of years, what is called literacy. When did we learn to read and write? You know from how long we have been able to language, English or writing or communication. From how long do we know, human beings know?
Long time, because from the Egyptian times, from the pyramids, they write in their own language.
How many years?
I think few centuries for sure.
2,000 years, 3,000,
Yeah.
4,000,
Yeah,
5,000,
yeah,
10,000.
Okay.
But what you're talking of evolution is million years, billion years.
Yes. Yes.
So
So
I'm saying
that's why I'm saying sorry. But my point is, which government decided that from now, this species, human race,
nobody knows.
This law applies.
Nobody knows, and nobody can know.
So it's our assumption.
Not assumption. No, not assumption. If I throw a ball up in the sky and it comes down, is it an assumption that there is gravity, or we infer this gravity?
No, I understand that. I fully, I've had this conversation. I understand this point very well, that you see the evidence. Whatever goes up comes down. What you reap, you sow. An apple tree
So
and a mango
what
tree.
is not clear? So get to the one, put your question in one sentence. What is it you are not clear?
Why did it apply to the human race?
Yeah,
when in the beginning, the creatures which was formed, they came with no karma, but they were forced.
That's how the creator did it. Why has the creator put himself in Govind Mehtani? How do he knows? Have you, at least whether you've realized it or not, do you know that every human being is a manifestation of God? There is God in every human being. You've understood that concept?
Agree.
Then
yes.
Why? That is why why is Coca-Cola black and not green? That's Coke has decided. Yeah, that's Coke has decided. So Govind, what I'm trying to tell you, it is not our business to ask the question why, but it is our business to find out about me, about you. You are only interested about you. And you have limited time. Govind, if you have got 40 years multiplied by 400.
Yes.
16,000 days. You have only 16,000 days. Do you have time to waste?
No, which is why I want to better understand quickly. I have a question I want to clarify, right?
Yeah, so I'm making you understand the question you are trying to clarify needs 1 million years to live, or needs not 100 years. You need to be alive for 10,000 years. You can't do it. You can't comprehend that.
But AiR, if we can get enlightened, in 10 years, 15 years, or 25 years, as you said, right? if we can, then why can't we make some more logic? Because once it makes more logic.
I'll give you the logic. You just do one thing for me today, and I'll give you the logic.
Come in.
You're living in Hong Kong.
Yes.
Empty the ocean that's outside Hong Kong into your bathtub, and I'll give you all the answers.
So it is so vast, and we cannot even try to do it.
That is, I'm not.
Acceptance.
We are not trying to bullshit, Govind. We are not trying to bullshit, or we are not trying to evade the question. Keep in mind, you cannot empty the ocean into your bathtub.
Right.
That much you agree?
Yeah, I agree. So just acceptance, basically.
No, acceptance with understanding the law, understanding why mangoes are not growing on an apple tree, understanding with common sense that if I do good, good comes to me. When I do bad, bad comes to me. Do you kind of feel logical? That is your common sense telling you there is this whole world is running through universal laws? Are you agreeing that the governance of this universe is very beautiful, that you're able to breathe and eat and digest and live for 70, 80, 90 years because it's a very intelligently organized and governed universe? You have any doubt about that?
Yes, no doubt. Yeah.
Based on that, you have to accept the fact that it is a very civilized law that governs the universe. The law of cause and effect.
So that is why people who are born in in slums, some people are born in slums and some people are born in palaces.
You don't have any other answer. If you have any other answer, give me.
I'm seeking the answer, which is why I asked the question.
See, if I threw a ball up in the sky and it went away up in the sky, then the law of gravity is not a law.
But if I put a gas balloon in the sky, it will go up in the sky. 1 second. There are satellites which go up in the sky and remain in the orbit forever. There's so much junk up there in the orbit.
But that's how the gravity law is proved. That's why in a spacecraft, you see astronauts are jumping up and down in the spacecraft because there's no gravity inside that.
Yeah.
So it is not that this is science. Science means to put sense in observing nature and life. It is to scientists. Science means that to put logic into what we observe.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, karma is a scientific law, a law of action and reaction.
Okay, got it.
But if you're asking who created the law of karma, it's just like saying who made the earth. Well, you can't answer who made the earth. If I asked you who made the earth, I don't know who made the earth.
And that nobody knows. Yeah, the science has some explanation, but yeah.
No, so if you look at the picture of the globe, can you believe it just happened? Can you believe the whole beautiful globe the way it looks?
No, Ed, I have no doubt that there is a higher power, which is there is no argument about that. There's no discussion about that. It's just that to make a little bit more logic, because when you see such big differences in people in their suffering.
Yeah, let me leave you with a question. What makes the Earth rotate exactly once in 24 hours?
I have also one. That's again the gravity, the gravitational pull from.
It's a supreme power. It's a supreme power that the Earth is revolving. Can you imagine the Earth is hanging somewhere in sky?
I agree. It's definitely something to wonder about.
Can you comprehend? Oh no, you answer that question. What is making the Earth hang somewhere in outer space?
I agree.
You can't answer that question.
All right. Thank you very much.
You had something else. You're still not through. Any more you want to ask?
No. This was my only question. That when the life started, there was no karma for those creatures, and they came and they were forced to do the karma.
No, so be clear about it. When life started, there was no karma. We were given a free will. We got into doing actions. We started doing good and bad things. We started doing good and bad, but we forgot we were manifestations of God. Because we forgot it, we got stuck in samsara. That's a simple understanding.
So self-realization, liberation, and unification is the roadmap.
Yes, that's the only thing. See, we have limited time, limited opportunity. There's no guarantee you and me will be on this call tomorrow.
Agree.
And as long as we have this breath, we have limited time to talk of relevant questions.
Right.
If you don't ask the relevant questions, Govind, and the whistle blows,
Yeah, it's too late.
so they would start from you go back to the boom minus 9 months and you start again.
Right.
So
Got it.
I urge you to therefore focus only on the relevant questions
Got it.
and eliminate the irrelevant. Even Ahemship asked just some question she asked me. I told her, don't worry about whether rat and cat and dog. We are not interested in that. We don't want to worry about what's happening in the life of a rat. And we want to know, who am I? Why am I here? Before I lose my breath, I want to be free from this cycle. I want to be one with the divine. This is the relevant questions and answers we need to focus on.
Okay. Got it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Manju, Lawrence, Jasmine, Hemant, Renuka, Will, and then Ritika. Yes,
Shivoham.
Shivana, Manju.
My question is how to still the mind. Even if I try, the mind goes here and there. That is
That
very
is-
important.
That is the best question anybody can ask.
Hmm.
You can still the mind
Hmm.
by realizing there is no mind.
But thoughts come from where?
There are thoughts. When you are not conscious that these thoughts are should be controlled, these thoughts become, they merge to become the mind. The mind is nothing but thoughts. So if you want to still the mind, you want to kill the mind, you have to stop thoughts. And just like can you stop eating?
No.
Eating. Can you stop eating? If you're eating, I say stop,
Yes.
you can stop.
Yes.
If I tell you stop talking, can you stop?
Yes.
Yeah, like that you have to stop thinking.
How to do that? That is most difficult.
By watching the thoughts. By
Okay.
observing, when the thought comes, the next time a thought comes, you just sit like this and you observe it.
Okay.
The thought becomes conscious, it stops.
Okay.
Then you reach a state of consciousness. Then you lock the mind. You block the mind. It is not easy, but I'm telling you the method. Now, in reality, there is no mind. Have you ever seen the mind? There is no mind.
No.
So you're understanding what I'm saying? What is the
Yes.
mind, Manju? What is the mind, therefore, Manju?
There's no mind. It's only collection of thoughts.
Perfect. It's a bundle of thoughts. It's a bundle of thoughts. So this bundle, if I ask you, what is the cable? Electric cable, thick cable. What is the cable?
Connection of wires.
It's a bundle of wires.
Okay.
If from each that cable, if I keep removing one wire, if I remove all the wires, then where's the cable?
Not there.
It's not there. The cable is a thick bundle of wires. So what we need to do is like how you snap that cable wire by wire. You keep on plucking the wire by wire, cable can disappear.
Yes.
But in this case, how to chop that mind, because it's so strong. It's like a gushing river. In a gushing river, Manju, can we build a dam? Can we build a dam?
Not
But
at all.
suppose in summer when there's no gushing river, there's no water in the river, can you build a dam?
Yes.
After you build a dam, when the rivers come gushing, then will the river go or it will be blocked?
It will be blocked.
That's the method.
We have to put in efforts to watch the thoughts.
You have to see, you're in this conscious. Right now I'm asking you, you're talking to me. As you're talking to me right now, is there a mind active behind your head?
No.
Where's
My
the mind?
consent.
Where's the mind?
Not there.
It's not there. When you're talking to me now, there is no mind. The moment you go from the Zoom call, ding ding dana, 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 ding ding dana.
Mind comes. So I have to be aware. But sometimes all stupid negative thoughts come which have no base, no reality.
Mind only is stupid. Their mind is MIND, miserable, ignorance, negativity, and desires. MIND. There is nothing good in the mind. Mind is a rascal.
Yes.
Mind stops you. Just now, Govind is asking questions. Govind is asking, okay, this fellow karma, who created karma, why he created karma. Govind is asking the questions. Tell me who's making Govind ask the questions.
His mind.
Why is Govind's mind asking those questions?
Curiosity.
No, because Govind's mind does not want Govind to realize the truth. Govind's mind is bombarding him. I don't know whether Govind is still on the call or not. Govind's mind is not is distracting him, because Govind's mind is telling, let me. It's like that grandmother cat told that little kitten, if you want happiness, it's the back of your tail. So the kitten keeps on running behind, catching its tail. It can never catch the tail, but the grandmother is free now. The grandma cat is free because the kitten is not disturbing it anymore. If you, me, and Govind Mehta start searching who created karma, when they created karma, when animals, when chimpanzees became human beings, we will be busy with that. We will not realize God inside.
Yes.
We have to be very cautious.
Of our thoughts.
Therefore, we must be in consciousness. In consciousness, there is no mind.
Okay.
In consciousness, there is no mind. But how to be in consciousness? That is the challenge.
Yes. One more question. How can we help the trees? Because when we had this session on trees, you feel so sorry for them that they are just standing on earth. We can only pray for them.
You're feeling sorry because you don't realize that there is no tree. You're seeing the tree bound to the ground. You're feeling sorry that Amitabh Bachchan died in Sholay. Amitabh Bachchan never died in Sholay.
Yes.
It was just a movie.
So this is also a movie of God.
This is just a projection. There is no tree.
Achha.
There is no need for you to feel sorry. If God wanted all trees to be free, how long it takes for God to do it? Don't. God knows how to deal with all these things.
Thank you.
So, Manju, you concentrate on you, on how you can be enlightened, how you can be liberated. Each one of us has a focus, and each one of us has the rascal mind, and each one of us is being pulled by the mind, because the moment the mind can tie us and make us blind, if the mind can make us blind, then it is successful. Then finished. Then the cycle will go on and on and on. So this is the problem. We have to be free from that. Lawrence, thank you, Manju. Lawrence?
Sip, Shivam, all of you, Guruji, and all in all here. Yeah, great. Well, I'll go right back to the beginning for my question. Bliss said, oh, you don't have life. And then you said, well, you did. And so therefore, we actually are staying in that light always, even if we're not conscious. So my question is, wouldn't we say then, evolution, karma, all of these are distractions in a sense. Isn't it then evident that the supreme, Sip, that if we are in that law of divine love at all times, therefore we don't have to think about karma anymore. We don't have to think about anything but that nothing is real except the divine Sip. And then it is very simple. It seems like a big jigsaw puzzle problem, but it isn't. It's simple to give ourselves to that reality.
It's very simple. If you can drop the mind and ego, there's nothing more to do.
Yeah, and a funny thing, it was very comical. So then you said, there's the absurdity. So you said, okay, 100 years. Well, my dad and uncle both did a twofer. They each lived to 101. So, bingo, who can say what was going on there? But I think the beauty of it is that we enjoy the mystery. Sip, our destiny is actually, and we will enjoy it eternally. We will enjoy this mystery. We could, they say you go to heaven, you can ask God all the questions you want, but we won't have any. We'll just be in that eternal bliss, enjoying it, I think.
So yes, Lawrence, what you say is correct. But what's important is that if we don't get out of the cycle, the problem is, the biggest problem, Lawrence? The biggest problem is because we are ignorant, we suffer.
Absolutely.
The problem,
clearly.
The problem, whether Manju was speaking now, or Govind was speaking, or whoever is speaking, or you and me, the problem is when there is avidya. Avidya is ignorance, which is Friday's topic. The moment there is ignorance, we have pain of the body, misery of the mind, agony of the ego, because we have not realized the truth. There is fear, worry, stress, anxiety. There's anger, hate, revenge, jealousy, pain of the body. The body is paining, but it's not there. The moment you are in awareness, if you're in awareness, everything is good.
And when evolution was up, it's kind of, I happen to subscribe to what Paramahansa Yogananda, had said, and he said, oh, you take the primordial couple, archetypal couple, Adam and Eve, and they were actually spiritual beings. One teacher actually said to me once, we are spiritual beings in a human incarnation. Is that not so?
Lawrence, God knows. What was Adam
of course,
and Eve?
We can't know it.
When was Adam and Eve? Whether there was an Adam and Eve, and who were they and how they were, is not known to anybody because it's too old in time of history, and it's too much of a Chinese
story. It's a mythology.
Yeah. So let it go, Lawrence. Let it go, and let's move on.
Yeah. But then that's the last thing. Then essentially, that love itself, the divine love, crystallizes every wish, every desire we could have for, we don't need lesser
love and joy and peace, and all these are what we should work on. Jasmine, thank you.
Thank you.
Jasmine, Hemant, Renuka.
Yes, my question is, can someone else's karma get attached to you? I hear things about karmic partners and soulmates and soul contracts. Is there any truth in that? Can you give me a straightforward answer so that I can remove any nonsense that I've read about it?
It's a bunch of lies. It's a bunch of lies. Karma is your action, and nobody in this world, nobody can interfere with your action. Each one of us has an individual account. There is no joint accounts. In a bank, you can have a joint account, but in karma, you can't have a joint account.
Okay, is there a such thing as a soulmate that can force you to have a joint account with someone?
Actually, the soulmate subject is a very deep. See, a soulmate is when two souls become one. For example, if I think of you as my soulmate, I may consider you to be my soulmate. But when two souls become one, which is very, 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 very rare, that is really soulmates. When 1 + 1 = 1. Very difficult because two bodies have their own minds and their own ego. And for two people to become one is the most beautiful thing in this world and the most difficult thing that we can imagine. So it's good to aspire. It's good to feel. For example, I feel somebody is my soulmate. Wow, beautiful. Because in reality, we are all soulmates. But because of the bodies, that soulmate we are broken apart. The body breaks us apart. Your soul and my soul, Jasmine, is one. It's one energy. But we are conditioned to be the body, mind, ego, and so the soulmate concept gets diluted. It just disappears. Are you getting what I'm saying? Who's a soulmate?
Yes, I have so much more clarity. Thank you.
Yeah. So if two people can be enlightened, they can become soulmates.
Okay.
Thank you. Hemant, Renuka, Will,
Oh, I have
Ritika.
one more
Yes,
question.
yes, Jasmine.
One more question. This is a question that I have when we were discussing the trees. So trees have an energy, correct? Everything
Yes,
is energy, and trees
yes.
are in. Okay, and if you have an energy that makes that, is that the spark of unique life? Does that mean a tree has a soul?
We believe that anything that is born and dies has a soul.
Okay, and if the
If a
soul
tree,
gives us
yeah,
consciousness, why doesn't a tree have consciousness?
the tree has consciousness, but the tree doesn't have intellect. The tree has
Okay, I thought
consciousness.
that intellect came from consciousness.
No. The intellect comes from consciousness only in a human being. The human being has got the highest level of consciousness. For example, a little worm. A worm also has a soul. It lives and dies. A worm, but it has no intelligence. It's just crawling, and then it lives and dies. Anything that is living and dying is what we call the soul energy.
Okay, I understand. Thank you.
But Jasmine, let me tell you, these are very deep questions, and there is no need to trying to get to, for example, an amoeba. An amoeba is a single celled cell. What about an amoeba? Where is the soul in an amoeba? Very difficult to draw a line where exactly the soul is fully present and not. It's very difficult for a human being to comprehend.
Right, I
And
understand. These Zoom
yeah,
calls have me with a bunch of questions.
yeah, and what is relevant to you? Try to stick to your relevant questions and move forward. Hemant, thank you, Jasmine. Hemant, thank you. Hemant, Renuka, Will, Ritika. Hemant?
Yes, it's yeah, Guruji.
Yes, Hemant.
So my question is, whatever is happening to us in this material world is all based on our karma. Am I right? Is my understanding correct?
Absolutely.
So my question is this karma which we have done in this life or also including past life also?
Both. There
Both.
is something called a twin karma. So just to make you understand, Hemant, when you die, you will not die.
Yes.
The body will die.
Yes.
And the mind and ego, the mind and ego, which actually doesn't exist, but out of ignorance, the mind and ego that exists carries karma from this life of Hemant Arora. And this karma, good and bad, goes to that warehouse, that corpus of karma, which is there in your account. From that karma, you are born. Now, when you come to earth, you carry one karma, and then one karma you do after your birth. So there are two karmas, prarabdha karma, agami karma, opening balance, current account. There are two karmas. They merge together, and that becomes your destiny.
Okay. And that may be the reason if something goes wrong with children's, those who have not done anything wrong in this life,
It's
they
their past
suffer
karma. It's their
with the
past
past.
karma.
Okay.
Because otherwise, it was innocent child of two days cannot be born blind.
Okay. And if something goes wrong with the children, is it possible that it is due to the bad karma of their parents?
No chance.
No chance.
No chance at all.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Renuka. Renuka, Will, Ritika, Bala.
Thank you.
Thank you. Renuka, Will, Ritika, Bala, and Suvinay. We'll end with Suvinay today.
Yeah.
No question after Suvinay,
Shiv-
please. Yes, Renuka.
Shivoham.
Shivoham.
My question is, what is right and wrong?
Nothing is right and wrong.
So it is just a mind game, because what is right for me could be wrong for other, or vice versa, or for multiple perspective it could have.
So the answer, what is right and wrong, is that which we can discriminate with our intellect. That is right and wrong. Black and white, wrong and right. As long as we can discriminate with intellect. Suppose today you're eating a banana. You are eating the inner fruit, you throw in the dustbin and you eat the skin. Will you do it? You will not do it because your intelligence tells you, Renuka, inside is the fruit, outside is just the skin. But a monkey may not. A monkey will eat the skin.
So for SIP inside me, this right and wrong does not exist.
No,
Right.
no. But SIP is only. It's like saying, does the current in your TV decide whether Amitabh Bachchan or Shah Rukh Khan will come on the TV?
Yeah.
The current will only give current to the TV. It will not decide which movie will play.
Okay.
Which movie will play depends on the dish antenna or depends on the channel.
Okay.
So the SIP does not decide right and wrong. SIP only gives us power to decide.
So the intellect is the one
The intellect comes alive in consciousness, and the consciousness comes from the soul, and the soul comes from SIP.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Will, Ritika, Bala, Suvinay.
Shivohang Sip.
Yes,
I would like to know we talked about consciousness, and the quality of consciousness is awareness and silence.
Yeah.
And I think also the quality of the soul is awareness and silence. Is that correct?
The soul is the spark of unique life. The soul is the source of that awareness, consciousness, life, and everything. Consciousness is what happens when the soul is giving us life. So what exactly you want to know? What are you trying to get at?
Well, I was wondering what the quality of the soul is, but I think you're not saying that. You're saying that consciousness has the quality of awareness and silence, and maybe others.
Soul doesn't have those qualities. Soul has no such qualities. Soul is the power. Soul is the life. Soul is SIP.
Interesting.
That power.
Sometimes, so when many meditation teachers in the Advaita scene, they talk a lot about awareness, but some people say, no, that's all completely wrong. It's silence. So there's quite a different divergence of teaching. I'm not saying one's right or wrong. It's just that some people stress awareness, but for myself, I prefer the word silence. I think silence is a better.
Let me ask you a question. What comes first, silence or awareness?
Silence.
So after the moment there is silence, then you go into awareness.
Yeah.
Without silence, how do you go into awareness? If there's so much noise, how do you go into awareness?
But I think silence is it's just a preference. I'm not saying I'm understand it, but what I find confusing is where some teachers, they talk so much about awareness and then they say awareness, aware of awareness, and they tie you up in knots before you even begun. You're already confused. So the word silence is much more helpful, actually.
Okay, Will, don't just let these teachers take a walk. You become the teacher. Now listen, you understand from your own intelligence. You know the meaning of silence. Silence means absence of noise. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
When there's absence of noise, which is what comes from meditativeness or meditation, you still the mind, and in that consciousness, that raises. That's why Patanjali said, Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi. You ultimately reach that state of Samadhi. You ultimately reach that state of, what is awareness? Awareness is to remain in that state of Samadhi. Silence is just a preliminary thing, Will. You need to be in that state of awareness, and you need to lock yourself there.
But you start with silence. I mean, you've got to have you have to block the mind, lock the mind, and then. But I just find the teaching on awareness very confusing and very unacceptable, and kind of like creates trouble for me, actually, because it might be true. I'm not saying it's wrong. It's just that it creates a lot of confusion, actually.
You know, I tried to learn golf from 3 teachers, and I could never learn golf because each of the 3 teachers were teaching me the game in a different way.
Yeah.
So don't try to learn the game with 3 different teachers.
Can I tell you that Ramana, he came with a statement. He said, God is silence. I don't know what do you make of that? Does that mean anything?
Don't take it literally. He may have meant something. God is silent. In silence you realize God. But silence doesn't mean that everybody who's silent will realize God. But it also doesn't mean that if you don't have silence, you can realize God. He was only encouraging people to be silent, to be still, and start the journey to God.
Yes.
So don't catch. You're much more advanced. Will move on. Don't let any teachers talking or Ramana or anything stop you. You know very well what you're talking, what you have realized. Move on. Will don't stop there. Ritika, let's close. We have 3 people at 9 o'clock. Ritika, Bala, Suvinay.
Shivoham Guruji, my question is that when you started your spiritual journey and you were dealing with a life situation, and of course you were answering it based on the law, you were dealing with it based on the law of karma, but people around you are not understanding it. Then what do you do?
See, Ritika, people not understanding it is just fine. You should understand it.
I'm understanding it.
Yeah, for me, all the people around me, you think they were supporting my journey when I started? Oh, they were thinking I'm a lunatic. When I was on the quest, and when you start realizing the truth, I am not. Oh, imagine one day I came and told people I'm not Ravi, I'm Atma and Ravi. They thought I lost my head. They thought I'm crazy. You think it's a joke? You think to walk on the spiritual path because 99% people will think you're an idiot. When in reality, they are an idiot. They are idiots.
Yeah, but then how do you, because you have to live with them, right?
You have to live with them, but don't expect them to become enlightened. If you expect them to become enlightened, then you're
no, but then you cannot
impossible.
have a normal. I mean, you can never reach a consensus.
You have a consensus as a female cannot expect a male to become a female, no? Can you expect as a female? Can you expect the male to be exactly like you?
No.
So you accept the male as the male, and you remain the female. I'm just giving you a crazy analogy, you can't expect. So there will be differences.
Yeah, but then how do you deal with that situation in like a normal, let's say a family situation?
Yeah, so the normal person will say, dump your spirituality. Let's go to the mall. Let's go shopping. Let's go movie. So you dump your spirituality and go.
No, but that's not my question.
Then what's the question?
So suppose you're having a dilemma and you are giving an answer based on what the law of karma.
And the other person doesn't understand.
Others are not understanding only what I'm saying.
Why are you trying to talk to them about this? Just beat
because
yourself.
I have to give my
matters.
answer.
So give your answer, but don't convince them. See, Ritika, you are right now, are you trying to get people enlightened or are you trying to get enlightened?
No, I'm only, how can I help anyone when I'm only not enlightened?
And you also understand that when you're struggling, how can you explain the answer to them?
But so you know that I'm confident that this is correct. What I'm saying is correct in the longer term.
Yeah, but they will not understand because they're in mind state. You're in consciousness. They're in mind state. How can they understand? Their mind will not agree. So if I tell my mother something, my mother's 84 years old, she will not agree.
And then what do you do?
So you move. If you are keen on the journey, you know this is the truth of life. You move forward. You don't care about what other people think.
Okay.
If this is according to you, is this an important journey? You want to ignore this journey, or this is a very important journey?
No, very.
Yeah, you try to talk to your near and dear ones, but don't try to convince them. Don't fight with them. Don't argue with them.
And yesterday you said something about material. Yesterday the conversation was about material pleasures.
Yesterday was a very, very important conversation. Yes.
Yeah. And I wanted to know, are children also material pleasures?
No.
No.
Let me explain to you now the analogy of yesterday in terms of children. Suppose you have a child.
Yeah.
Now you are material, but you're becoming spiritual.
Yeah.
Will you have another 3 more children?
No.
Yeah, because you are spiritual. You know there's no sense in having any more children.
Yeah.
But will you dump your child?
No.
That's
exactly what. Yeah. Okay.
That's the answer. What we said yesterday, whatever material
You
position
have
you are in,
already is.
you lock it
Yeah.
there and then don't get any further entangled in
Yeah.
it.
Okay.
Okay,
Thanks.
thank you. But time is very short, so quick answers, Bala and Suvinay. I just realized the time is mad and they're knocking the door for me to close. Bala, jaldi bolo.
Pranam Guruji, I wanted to talk about yesterday's topic, Guruji. How much material do we require? Only one single sentence is there. Ki you have to be like a cashier in a bank. You have to, it owes everything, but nothing is yours.
You have to resign from the bank cashier and you have to go and become cashier of God.
No. You have to play that role, Guruji. I'm talking
Correct.
about the role.
But you don't need to keep on becoming bank cashier for the rest of your life. बैंक को बाबा बोलो और गॉड के पास जाओ. सुविनय.
Yes, Guruji Shivam.
Shiva.
Guruji, everything, I think whatever we see, we do, it's a reflection of our consciousness. But our mind is playing such a vital role that we seem to think that whatever is doing, we are doing. But it is bound to happen. We are just participating in that cosmic drama. That's what I want to say.
Yes, you are right. But the time is over. We can discuss tomorrow. With folded hands, I bow down to you. Thank you, Suvinay.